Black mass, man, it's time to rob. I had to find a way, I couldn't find a job. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Black mass, man, it's time to rob. I had to find a way, I couldn't find a job. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God.
I woke up, then I logged in to that Urban X where they be flexing with that blog in. Put it down, cause my little homie called in. Had to bail him out, he in trouble with the law again. Black skin can't win in the white world. Seen a brother kill his own kid for that white girl. We ain't wanna go to school, but we had to. Every February it was scary in them classrooms. Shimmy y'all, shimmy yay. Old dirty bastards can't own dirty slaves, so they own dirty masters. Black Dot found a pot as a youngin', broke it down for his son, and now he serve it to the masses.
Black mass, man, it's time to rob. I had to find a way, I couldn't find a job. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Black mass, man, it's time to rob. I had to find a way, I couldn't find a job. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God.
Urban excellence, a product of my residence. From 40 to 44, Obama was the president. I told mama I ain't tryna go to church. I'm like Adam, every Adam is a product of the dirt. And I've been reaping what he sowed. I got the product, got the dirt. And I can teach you what I know, but then you gotta put in work. You in trouble if you waiting on the government. I told my bro I make it out the hood, and that's a covenant.
Yeah. What's good?
What's good, everybody?
Yeah. Peace.
That's it. So what's good, everybody? Thank you for joining us.
Welcome to the family. Peace, Urban X Nation. Or Urban X, whatever we got. We tried to get fancy.
No, that's fine.
It didn't work?
No, it did work. Tanya just didn't know she was on.
Okay. All right. We're trying to get fancy out here. And now, does she supposed to hit something? Or?
Yes. Supposed to hit the white button.
Oh, straighten it out first. Straighten it out. Yeah.
Sorry for this, folks. The people that's listening. Thank you for joining us for another week.
Absolutely. We appreciate the ultimate support.
For real.
In what we do. We appreciate you coming back every week.
This is show 30.
This is show 30.
Facts, man.
That's what it is.
Clap that up, man.
Clap that up. Yeah.
Yeah, clap that up. Show 30.
Show 30 in the mix. Welcome our Facebook family, our Twitter, Periscope family.
Instagram.
Our Instagram family. We're trying to get y'all lined in. Of course, the podcast family, the YouTube family. Everybody's here.
Yeah, we have to start, branching out because YouTube.
Yeah, we're going to talk about it.
We're going to talk about it. I don't know. It's scary. It's
getting scary out here. It's getting scary and spooky at the same time.
Yeah, man.
Right around Halloween, things are getting scary.
Yeah.
All right. So first, I always like to ask you, how was your week?
Man. No, my week was good. I just been really sleepy this week. I don't know.
Sleepy, huh?
Yeah, maybe it's something I ate. I don't know. I just been really sleepy this week.
Okay.
But I've been productive though.
You've been productive.
I've been productive.
You still been on the 4:30 challenge.
4:30 challenge.
All right. I be rolling over, thinking about Malcolm at 4:30. I look at the clock sometime and be like, this Negro is up.
Yeah, and I mean,
it's a good look.
And like by the time I get back from the gym and all my morning stuff, people are just starting their day.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's amazing to know that you've already accomplished some things, and people are just getting up.
So
that's how I look every morning when I get my cup of coffee and I look out the window at people going to work. I be like, look at this. These people are movers and shakers. These niggas is doers.
Yeah, look at Tanya over there mad.
Yeah. That's my wife over there. She's mad. But but seriously, she's about to be home with us full time.
Facts.
And so I already know we all have dreams and aspirations here to do amazing things, and my wife is no different. You know what I mean? So, but she works twice as hard. She come in from work.
Oh, shout out to Samuel Stevenson, Compton Watts in South Central LA. Whoa.
Yeah, whatever. I don't have my phone because now my phone is being used for the gram. So shout out
wow.
to whoever that is. We appreciate that support coming right out the gate.
Facts.
Right out the gate.
For the super chat. For the people that don't understand what was going on, that's the super chat. That's open.
Yeah, the super chat is open.
That's open. We appreciate you.
We appreciate your support. So let's get right down to it, young man. Tell me what's on the docket, because I rarely know. I'll get a heads up of what we're talking about, but I like to keep my shit fresh.
So first, this caught me off guard, like early in the week, right? So Hillary Clinton, she was getting interviewed, and they asked her about, her husband's role in the Me Too movement, and they asked her, like, regards to Monica Lewinsky, and if that was an abuse of power, because we understand that the way people look at relationships in the workplace, especially if it's a superior,
absolutely,
that is an abuse of power.
That is an abuse of power. Absolutely.
And they were asking about her husband's affair with Monica Lewinsky, and she said that wasn't. She denies the fact that, or she denies the claim that was an abuse of power because Monica Lewinsky was grown. I think she was like 22 at the time.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman. Now, she did give me a little bit of brains, but I did not. Yeah. I did not grab her by the pussy. I did not hit her in the headlock or none of that stuff. But she was 22, so she was old enough to consent.
She was consenting, but this is, I think this goes deeper than Hillary, not the actual act, but Hillary saying this is not an abuse of power, because again, we talked about these white women who are married to, like we talked about Melania Trump, these white women that are married to these men who are offenders.
Absolutely.
Right?
And how uncomfortable that is.
How uncomfortable that is, and how they're not aligning themselves with the Me Too movement. And a lot of women, these are the allies that you need, right?
And these are prominent
women, and they're not.
So Hillary is saying, first of all, last week, what's his wife's name? Melania said, you need evidence.
Yep.
So she was taking a stand.
Yep.
Now you have Hillary, who I just saw in a picture with Harvey Weinstein not too long ago, saying, well, she was consensual, but she wasn't saying that shit when that shit was going on.
Right.
You know what I mean? And who's the lady from New York who's Hillary's assistant, who husband, Weiner? The Weiner guy. Anthony Weiner, who's just a repeat offender. If you're in the New York area, you know who, with a name like Weiner,
and
the last thing he should be doing, sending pictures of his fucking wiener to young underage girls and shit. But what they're doing now, they're drawing the line, right? So it's not much different than white supremacy is more important than this gender shit that has been trying to be pushed.
Oh, now it's an all-out war.
Now it's an all-out war. Absolutely.
You have to just kind of draw your line. It's an all-out war now, because as we talk about in the show, there's steps being taken to appreciate that. There's steps being taken to discredit men, of course, like it has been doing, but then there's steps being taken to discredit the accusers as well.
Absolutely.
And now a lot of prominent figures are cutting the legs from the movement.
Absolutely. But we spoke about this at Urban X on how it's going to be an all-out war, because Harvey Weinstein is not going down without a fight. He knows too much.
Facts. Oh, shout out to Let's Get Free. Always a supporter.
Yeah, always a supporter. Let's Get Free. Facts. So what we're doing is we're now starting to see how powerful Harvey Weinstein is. Right? Because one lady who accused or went against, I forget her name if you know it in the chat, a couple of weeks ago, she's an actor. She actually went against the Me Too movement. Then she tried to retract her words. That's not what I really meant. But she's got to go to court because they found drugs in her car. And she said, this is the work of Harvey Weinstein. So understand.
We need the name in the chat.
Yeah. So
we need the name.
Forgive me for not having her name, but I read it in the Daily News. And she said, this is the work of Harvey Weinstein. So now Harvey has his goons out here planting things, because that's what they do. Powerful men are not just going to die. Just like if you think the powerful men in this country are going to allow you to vote them out of power, you're out of your mind.
Yeah.
You're out of your mind. If they're going to go, okay, well, we lost the vote. Now you Negroes are in power. You're out of your mind. It's just not going to happen that way. You know what I mean? So we have to be very aware of what's going on at all costs. And now Hillary is doubling down because that's her man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm hearing some really off-base stuff about Hillary and some of the stuff that she's done behind the scenes. We already know of the body count of her and Bill is supposed to be up to 56 people.
I heard a lot about Hillary Clinton's, I guess, like body count when it comes to. Remember, Bill's supposed to have illegitimate kids, like black.
Yo, that kid is his kid.
Yeah.
That's his kid. I'm sorry. That's Bill's kid. Bill playing, damn saxophones and jazz clubs. He getting a little bit of that, tapping a little bit of that ass.
Apparently, we're freezing on YouTube.
On YouTube, freezing?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna keep going. Do we keep going?
I say we keep going.
Are we on? Okay, we're still here. See, this is what happens when we multicast.
Dude.
And the signal should be strong. For some reason. Let me know when we get back. Did we get back?
Hit 1 in the chat if we're good.
Because yours is moving.
Yeah, mine's is moving.
All right, yours is moving, so we're going to continue to go. We ain't going to stop the flow.
Yeah, shout out to Domain Collins.
Yeah, shout outs. Shout outs.
So, yeah, we got to keep a look. We got to keep an eye out for the, we got to keep an eye out for the Monica Lewinsky.
Yes, keep an eye out on this because this is a chess move by Hillary, who is now, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Because I don't know, the fact that she said it wasn't an abuse of power is scary, B.
That's absolutely scary. That's really scary. The fact that she said that it's not an abuse of power for the most powerful man in the world to have a 22-year-old girl working for him. First of all, she was Mossad. A lot of people don't know that she was an agent, a Jewish agent, but that's beside the point. And she was put there, from my understanding, to kind of lure Bill into doing what he does best. You heard?
Yeah.
All right, so
next, right? We got Joe Biden.
Joe Biden.
So
who's a weirdo, by the way? I don't know if you ever seen him around kids. When they show the little moves with him around kids, it's really bad. It's terrible. It's really terrible the way he he operates around kids.
And a lot of people don't know he was one of the major factors who signed off on the '94 crime bill along with Bill Clinton. So black people, we get hype about him being Obama's vice president. We get hype. Oh, he's invited to the barbecue. All this stuff that they talk about.
Right.
And so recently, he was just given an award, an African American Civil Rights Award from some museum.
An African American civil.
Let's suppose that you're writing a really important email to a colleague.
Dude. All right. Yeah.
Let's go with you.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, he was given an African American Civil Rights Award, and like that has to be like a bad joke, right? No.
An African American Civil Rights Award for some dude who
put a lot of black people in jail.
Yeah, that sounds like an oxymoron to me, but I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised because I see a lot of this taking place.
No, it's hold on, I'm gonna find the exact award for you.
Yeah, please find the exact award.
That's and this is what people call what do they call it? Like blue check activism.
Yes.
And they call the blue check activism for the blue check on Twitter. So the people that have these, like the black people in the political sphere, have verified accounts, and for some reason that gives them the authority to have to anoint people into the the struggle. And I feel like it's a smack in the face to a lot of them.
No, it's an absolute smack in the face. What's going to be next? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and then when we look at the NAACP and a lot of these organizations, the ones who are giving up the money are white people.
Mm-hmm.
So as a result, they feel they should have an input and impact on how things are disseminated in terms of awards. But I found that to be hypocritical, but I'm not surprised. Because anybody cutting checks for black people, we brown nose and we in their face.
That's a fact. Hold on. Are we still good in the chat?
We are good.
Okay, cool.
I guess we're good. We are something close to being good.
Oh, real quick, I don't know if you noticed this on Twitter, but a lot of people, they keep doing these like fake news clips, and then when you click on it, it reroutes you to a link to vote.
Well, this is the midterm elections, so we are now.
I want to know if that works because it turns me off. Like I don't.
You'd be surprised. It's a lot of slow people out there. It's a lot of slow people out there. You know what I mean?
It's like fam.
So I would not be surprised if it worked, because I'm hearing in certain states, if your address doesn't match your license, that they're stopping you from voting. All these little tricks of the trade that the Republicans
I forgot what state it was exactly, but the senator in charge who's up for re-election, he's been barring a lot, like flagging a lot of voting registration, so
Absolutely.
that by the time they do come in, like it'll be too late.
Absolutely, yeah. So we're freezing here too a little bit.
Okay, so he was given the National Civil Rights Museum Freedom Award.
The National Civil Rights Museum.
It gets worse when each word you say.
Freedom Award.
Yeah, it gets worse each word you say.
Each word you say gets crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's bonkers. So keep an eye on this, because this is some hypocritical stuff going on, and we got to get that together.
Facts.
You are tuned into the sounds of Urban X.
So this was a big debate this week. So Remy Ma, she was on her show, State of the Culture, with Joe Budden, Scotty Beam. I forgot the other guy's name. First of all, it's too many of them on that set. But
Yeah. I think it's one too many
it's
of them on the set.
Right? And they were talking about the N-word, word nigga, and then I felt like she was just real blunt about how she felt. She said, "Yo, it's not that big of a deal to me. Unless it's said in a malicious, like in a racial slur, like so." And a lot of people took offense to that. What do you think?
If we're gonna allow these songs to have nigga all up and down and in them,
Yeah.
and in the industry, we're not supposed to be on either network. We're supposed to be on the mainstream network. So no Wi-Fi. That's probably the problem here.
That is a problem.
So no Wi-Fi. It should be direct landline in the Ethernet. Yeah. So we use it so much.
Mm-hmm.
Hip hop as a culture has integrated and allowed so many people to participate in it.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
That now on every one of these songs has the N-word nigger in it. And you're at a concert filled with mostly white people
Who attend those concerts.
And pay $60, $70, $80, $90 per ticket.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And you want them to sing along to your songs, but yet when they say that one word, you want them to not say that word.
Right.
So that's going to be a problem.
So, and this is, I actually put this on Facebook this week, that your favorite rapper doesn't care who says it either.
Right. Absolutely.
And I think Remy, she was just being honest and saying what everybody else is afraid to say.
Yes. So I'm not going to knock Remy on that.
Yeah, I'm not.
Because a lot of what's being said is true. You know what I mean?
Like, how many rappers have you heard of that have stopped concerts because they saw one of their white fans say the word nigga and they go, whoa.
Zero.
Don't say that.
Zero. Maybe Chance the Rapper. I think
Kendrick did it.
Kendrick did
and
it.
this other rapper named Enemy, I think he did it. I don't even know how you say his name. Oh, right. So this week on Facebook, because this is after the whole debate has been going about Remy Ma and the N-word and her being okay with whoever says it, her not really being offended. I agree.
Okay.
I agree because a lot of people, especially rappers, they don't care who says the word, or else a lot of concerts would be getting stopped because most of the people that attend those concerts are white and they're rapping along with the lyrics you put in your song.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So if that was the case, they would stop it. They go, whoa, don't say it. And here's the thing too, because this is the point she said that I kind of resonated with. She said she doesn't check somebody, and a lot of my friends said the same thing. They don't check somebody unless they say it in a way
in a context.
In a way that's malicious, like you're a nigga, like
that's context. That's that doesn't mean in the vibration in which.
Because I had a friend who was white in middle school. He lived in Kingsbridge, and you know what? That's one of the poorest congressional districts in New York City, right?
Right.
And one time we were in school, and he just said it around me so smooth, I didn't even realize it.
Right, it was so subtle.
It was just context. Like, and then it was like, wait, what? Like, but at the same time, I know for a fact that he didn't mean it in a racial way, but it made me uncomfortable. But I know he didn't mean it that way.
Yeah.
For me to like punch him in the face or something.
It really is a slippery slope because we use it so much, and amongst each other, it has energy. Means God and a whole nother vibration. I ain't even gonna get into all that shit tonight. So, but understanding that in its context, but because hip hop has so much integration and we've given so many people a pass to use hip hop as they see fit, that's one of the things that come along with the territory. Now, this is not the workplace. Are we still freezing? How we doing out there? All right. So this is not the workplace in which your boss. We have the plantation mentality and the steps of, you know what I mean? So with that being said, and in mind, we know how the context of it is used. And a lot of these athletes are having babies, having babies by these white women. And now these babies, Kaepernick and J. Cole and a number of these babies have the right to say it because they have been given the ultimate pass to say it. So I'm not going to get at Remy Ma for that because, I
don't like the idea that a word can enrage you so much where you have to, like, it really does that much to you where nobody can, I don't know. That's just me.
Now, I do understand, again, in context. I don't say that word around old people.
Okay,
my elders,
they have a different,
because they have a different and the word connected to them
in a different way. Yes,
is in a different way,
right.
Because of what they went through with the word. We tried to take the power away from the word because words are only a collective agreement of how we choose to move them. So if I'm saying I'm gonna get that cheddar, you dig? What the fuck does that mean? You know what I'm saying? But you know exactly what it means because we have a collective agreement that this word. Right? And this is all in English language to begin with. So this is the colonizer's language that we have found loopholes and hacks within the colonizer's language to make it vibrate, in a frequency that helps us. So along with that, we took the word nigga and added nigga. You know what I'm saying? So the vibration and the heat coming from your words. Remember, words and thought have a vibration. That heat, you know what that shit mean. Hey, nigga. Whoa, wasn't a lot of heat on that. That was a little cold, nigga. Or my nigga. It's a little heat on that. I feel a little warm and shit. You know what I mean? So we understand the magnitude of how language is used. So I wouldn't get too much into that with Remy and things of that nature.
Yeah, but it was people online trying to go in on her like, y'all really don't care either.
Right, y'all just looking for conversation. We're looking to start something up to put you on a hot seat.
Yeah.
And one thing I noticed about Remy, she speaks her mind.
Yo, she's been saying whatever she wants to say.
Yeah. So, because even on the first show, she got right at Button and was like, "Yo, dude, you act like you afraid of him, like you don't want that smoke." You know what I mean?
Even when she won her views on Bill Cosby.
On what did she say about Bill?
She was just basically saying like they were trying to destroy this man rather than everybody else's collective agreement that he's a rapist, he needs to be in jail, and that's the popular
right. What
viewpoint.
Remy is going to have to do is she's going to have to understand, and this is just my humble opinion. She's going to have to understand that she's on mainstream TV now, so she has to pick and choose when she wants to make that stand and when she doesn't want to make that stand.
Where's she from? Was she from Bronx River?
No, she from the hood.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
So shout out to Remy.
Right. With that being said, now, so whoever's disposition on the word, no matter what your disposition is, I respect that. Right? If the word makes you cringe, fine. That's why I don't speak around elders. But if you understand the sorcery of words, of the spell of words, like when we say good morning, that's like death. Good and morning, morning is death.
I never thought about
hello, hell is low. So the words that we use in itself, it's all built in. This is why we have added sorcery to the language so that we can use it in a way that empowers us, because none of it is our language. So when you get at the mumble rappers, and you're taking a stand, they're not speaking the colonizers' English properly. You sound stupid.
I never thought about
You don't think you do, but you sound a little crazy. So the mumble rappers is scrambling the codes. We'll get into that at another time.
I'm still freezing, dog.
Yeah. Oh, let's hit this. You are tuned into the sounds of Urban X.
Real quick, did you listen to any new music this weekend?
I listened to Beloved by Styles P
and Davies.
I did listen to some of their joint. I didn't get through the whole project.
What you think?
I thought it was dope for vintage hip hop. You know what I mean? They bouncing off each other was kind of classic. You know what I mean? No weak bars. Davies is nice. Styles P is the only rapper. When he say some shit, I believe him.
Yeah.
If he go, I pulled out the gat and ran into the bank. He did that shit.
Yeah.
You know, he the only, like, whatever he on, his shit is just tight like that.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's
I listened to Quavo's album.
You listen to Quavo. Like, why would you do that?
I don't know.
Why would you do that? Why would you listen to Quavo? I'm only kidding. You're a part of the culture now, and you have to do this as a part of your job. Now we are off screen. Okay. Yeah. Let's keep moving.
Yeah. Well, I thought, first of all, I knew his album wasn't going to have much substance because he doesn't really talk a lot, and he's not, like, of the Migos, he's not the lyricist at all.
Right.
But I just thought, I thought it would have some heat on there. Because he showed some of the features he had. I'm like, all right, maybe
there's a lot of dope features.
Yeah, I'm like, maybe he can finagle something, and it was horrible, dude. It was,
the whole album?
It was, I think, like 2 or 3 songs I liked out of 19.
Wow.
And remember, I told you, when these rappers load their albums with a whole bunch of music, that means themselves are not confident.
Yeah, they're not confident enough that, and then the project becomes diluted, of course, and it doesn't hold its texture.
Yeah, and
you know what I mean? 10 songs is really enough. In this day and time when we're in the quickening, I'm speaking always about the quickening. You know, I don't have 2 and 3 hours. That's why we're breaking these videos up now. You know what I mean? To kind of give you a chance.
Right.
If you don't have time to sit down with Black Dot and Dotson for an hour and a half.
My name is Malcolm.
Yeah, Dotson. If we don't have time to sit down with us for an hour and a half, you can catch certain segments, in a vibration that works for you. So that's really what it's all about. I would not listen to Quavo more than a verse.
He's not really a good rapper.
But
like, he just doesn't. You know what's crazy? Some of like big rappers that can't rap.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like French Montana. Like, he cannot rap.
But French Montana is dope.
He irks
what
me,
he
like,
does.
He cannot rap. He cannot
rap.
rap.
I'm not. Listen, you forgot. This is not hip hop. This is hip hop. So he has a voice. He has that little chant he does, you know what I'm saying? It's the repetitive, you know, that and that shit he does.
That was bad.
And his beats are okay. He picks some nice beats, that's what hip hop is today.
He has one song with Davies, as a matter of fact, called Maneuver. That's probably like the best I've heard him rap.
No, but he got that song with Drake. That shit is
No Stylist.
No Stylist.
I don't like that either.
It's got a little heat to it.
You know what? It grew on me. I'll admit that it grew on me.
It's got a little heat to it.
But apparently, Offset from the Migos, he's putting out his own solo album, and Takeoff is putting out his own solo album, and then at the end of all of that, them and Drake are supposed to put out a mixtape.
Whoa!
They need to keep it all. And I felt bad for Quavo because all last year and this year leading up to his actual solo album, people were hyping it like he just needs to go solo. He's the Beyonce of the group, and the reception I saw on Twitter from his album was horrible. I kind of felt bad. It was they were going in on him. It was a meme of like 4 pens.
Somebody said, my man Daryl Cook said, Montana's trash.
Thank you.
Yeah, but listen.
Thank you.
I can't listen to it, Daryl, in the context of me being a 50-year-old hip-hop historian.
Like, no, I can tell.
I can't do that. I have to kind of, I got to double down a little bit and try to get into the mind of the youth unless we're all done. Can we eliminate Periscope and Facebook in real time?
Let's try it.
And maybe strengthen our signal here?
Let's try it.
Just trying to say, because, we're rolling. And, see, sometimes the us trying to get expensive or expansive, we lose some of our vibration.
Yeah.
So to speak. But we're going to keep it going. All right. So I have to keep that in mind, right? Because this is what I want to say too. young people, how we sound to young people is crazy. Like, I don't care how dope your bars is. Skills to build, to chill. I'm ready to kill. That sounds dope to me. So, but young people, it sounds like they're old. And the minute when young people hear older dudes rap, you sound old, right? To young people. So for older people, when I hear young people rap, this shit sound crazy because there's a discommunication gap in between how we do our music. It just is what it is. You know what I mean? It's sort of like playing ball, right? In my mind, I'm still nice. In my mind, my crossover is, and you sliding. In reality, my crossover is like this. Doom, 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 doom. So I can get on the court and I can still get a bucket. I can still get a bucket.
No, listen.
But it's an old school kind of
game. It's see, you're talking about skill and age, right?
Yeah.
I think there's this in hip hop that those rules don't really apply when it comes to what we give our attention to, what we hype. Like, I was listening to a French Montana song, or a verse. I forgot what verse, what song it was, and it just sounded like he was having such a hard time to put that. I don't even know if it was a 16. Like, it
together.
It was just bad, man.
Yeah,
whatever. But Quavo, that album wasn't it at all. He had a Malcolm X voice clip, used it in a horrible way. It was it was just bad.
Yeah, but this generation follows that.
Real quick, did you hear about Quincy Jones?
What happened to Quincy?
Running his lips again.
What did he say now?
He was talking about Malcolm X selling heroin to Ray Charles when they was 17 and 15.
Yeah, Malcolm was, but we knew that though.
Yeah, but like.
But dude, tell me something. Remember, he was Malcolm Little, Detroit Red. Before he was Malcolm X. Don't forget that. And he did a couple of things as Detroit Red that just will make you cringe, right? So man. But what he represents is the potential to go from Malcolm Little, Detroit Red, to Malcolm X, or El Haj Malik El Shabazz, right? And that's the transformation from man to God.
Quincy Jones is going to say something about the wrong white dude.
Well, Quincy, they're banking on the fact that Quincy might be on his way out. That's what they're banking on because, because he about to give it all up. You know what I mean? He about to give it all up. Yeah, Malcolm himself, heroin, he had hookers out there and shit. He was doing a lot of crazy shit. That's why he my hero and shit. Quiet as kept. You are tuned into the sounds of Urban X.
So back to the Me Too movement and things like that. It was just announced that Kobe Bryant will not be able to participate in the animated film festival panel because of his allegations from 2003. Okay,
so in 2003,
yes.
So the film festival now in 2018 will not have Kobe Bryant,
who just won an Oscar.
Who just won an Oscar because of something he did in 2003, and did he paid his price in 2003, right? I mean, in terms of, did he pay off the fee or something? Or
I think, I would assume so.
And we publicly ridiculed him.
Right.
His wife stood there, as he said he was sorry for that shit.
Right.
And now 15 years later, see, this is what I mean. I'm all with. Don't try me twice. I was tried in 2015 in the court of public opinion.
03.
I was tried in 03. 5-0.
Yeah.
In my hood, you put your hands up until the police go by. Richard Pryor say, it ain't me. So what happens is, right? He was tried in the court of public opinion.
Right.
In 03.
Yes.
He went through his trials and tribulations.
Yes.
In 03.
And he wasn't found guilty for rape.
No, I think she consented to the front door, but she didn't consent to the back door, and he went through the back door. I think I gotta read. It's been a long time since I read the transcripts. It was something really weird, and he didn't know he could get her pregnant if a little bit of sperm came out. And then he also was just like, well, let me just pay for it to go away the way Shaq does. Who Shaq under the bus, so it was really, really weird dynamic with all of that. But he changed his number.
Yeah.
He sat in front of his wife. He bought her a $24 million ring or something crazy.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Right? And she was standing there looking at him in the press release, right? He was like, I'm sorry I did that. You know what I'm saying? And then we forgave him because he won 2 more chips.
Yeah.
And that, you know how the people get, and then, because Eli came in on the timeline.
When he was winning, yeah.
When he was winning,
Yeah.
and then I said something slick like one day, like, hey, if only you really knew. He said, well, what do you mean by that? I was like, no, I'm just saying, if only you really knew what Kobe was doing, you know. So, and here it is 15 years later, and now he has to go through it again because the Me Too movement has legs now.
Yeah.
I don't know how strong the legs are, you know what I'm saying, but they do have legs.
But the fact that, again, we talked about it, like you're catching them on something again, in retrospect, because you couldn't get him the first time. That's whack.
Yeah. I understand. I understand fully. But they need to just continue to
set an example, I guess.
Bring this forward and bring things to the forefront. And now it's getting out of hand. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Kobe released a statement of he's going to continue to move forward, and things of that nature. But that's the way it works.
So do you think that because the Me Too movement came out so hot, like they came out getting everybody, that it's like the reaction from the people, even women, are like, this is getting out of hand. So that's why we see the Melania Trumps, the Hillary Clintons, like their reaction towards that.
They're probably trying to slow the momentum down, and they're banking on the fact that people's memory span in the Twitter era and Instagram era is a week.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. They're banking on that, and so it's all connected. And then remember, there's people who are for them, who are probably secretly funding them behind the scenes, and then there are people who are against them because the higher it goes up, that it's going to point to you eventually, male or female. Right. Russell Simmons, I heard, is trying to travel and go to other places where he can't be.
Oh, he's in, I think, Mali?
Yeah, somewhere where he can't be.
So it's no
extradition and this and that. So you're going to see a lot of them, start to make their move because this shit stinks. And because it stinks, it's it's making its move back up to the top. And when that stink gets to the top, it's a wrap.
Scary, man.
Scary. You are tuned into the sounds of Urban X.
We apologize for all the technical difficulties.
But we will put up a clean version of this.
Yes, we will.
So fear not, hang in there with us. We will put up a clean version of this because that's just how we get down. Yes, it could be YouTube messing with us. It could be us trying to get extra. And now we got to double back down because we shouldn't be having these kind of problems with an Ethernet signal, a strong Ethernet signal.
Yeah, what did you think about YouTube going down?
I
thought that was just my phone or my Wi-Fi.
Right. Is our cable box on? Yeah, make sure that's on. Well, I think it's a test.
For what?
It's a test
for... You said that and I don't understand you.
They do these little tests early on.
Yeah.
To see if the people response is what it is. If there's shock value, and people did lose their mind when YouTube went down for an hour and a half.
Apparently Pornhub's traffic spiked.
When YouTube was out, Pornhub's traffic spiked.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's hilarious.
Right? So a lot of times these are test runs. Maybe YouTube is going to start charging people. A lot of people's whole life is on YouTube in terms of the archives of the videos. You know what I mean? I'm uncomfortable with not being in control of anything. Facts. And you know how I feel about that.
Facts.
So we already are going to take a contingency plan to make sure we don't get caught with our pants down. Yeah. Pause. You know what I mean? So that we don't find ourselves in a situation, because we're in the information age. And because we're in the information age, the ones who dictate and control information, they can't stop it, but the ones who can control it are the gatekeepers. You know what I mean? So public opinion, YouTube is the second most visited site from what I understand. You know what I'm saying?
I would assume so.
Behind Google. It was Google.
And Google owns YouTube.
And YouTube. So they are in the information of business.
Business of information, yes.
And they're in the business of information.
Yes.
So understanding having too much information is like having no information at all. Try to Google some shit. And the damn many choices you get, some contradictory to the other one.
Yeah.
Right? So now that leaves you in a state of, suspension on if this information is validated or if it is not. So, and perception is everything. You know what I mean? So YouTube going down to me is in connection with this Facebook stuff that we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
It's all one big story being told. So YouTube goes out for an hour and a half. People lose their minds, right? Some people's whole source of income, their whole person, everything is YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So what do you do if YouTube goes dark? I'm going to connect this to Trump sending you a message on your phone. All of this shit is connected. So when we get further down the line...
No, I wanted to lead into the Facebook conversation.
Oh, okay. So it's all one conversation.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I think it's all one conversation. So this week, like, how many, like, at least a couple million YouTube pages, Facebook pages got deleted. And these were just political pages, either like left or right wing.
Right.
Just political pages. And they got deleted.
Right.
So, we talked about freedom of speech and how, like, it really doesn't exist anymore.
It doesn't.
Especially if you're on somebody else's platform to get your message out there.
Absolutely.
So it doesn't exist.
Absolutely.
So what do you do if Facebook is gone, YouTube is gone?
You know what I
next?
do? I go back to the life I was living before we started this shit.
Yeah.
I'm only here because you here. You asked me to do this shit. I would be watching the game right now.
Not living to his full potential.
No, I live into my full potential because
I helped you.
when I want to write a book or I want something to say, I say it. Other than that, I mind my business.
You're supposed to be writing a book.
Yeah, I am. I'm writing it in my mind first.
Yeah,
That's the way that works, and then it trickles down to a physical reality. Yeah. But in reality, check this out. Listen to what's been going on. Trump sends everybody a message. Right? Cosby constitutional rights violated.
Right.
He goes to jail.
Right.
2 hurricanes, Florence, Michael.
Mm-hmm.
Facebook, they take Alex Jones down.
Everything.
Simultaneously, companies that have nothing to do with each other simultaneously shut him down.
Yeah.
PayPal even shuts him down. Mm-hmm. Right? Kavanaugh gets in on the same shit Cosby doesn't get in on.
He got locked up on.
Harvey Weinstein is going to win his fucking case. All of this shit is happening simultaneously, and now YouTube decides to give his test run. I think all of this is connected. Sometimes you got to step back away from the board. Something big seems to be happening or be coming down the pipe. And then there was the financial shit. The stock market crashed a little bit. Nobody talked about that shit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, all of this shit happening, and it's all happening. They might be switching us over to the Bitcoin or whatever it is going on. All of this might be happening simultaneously, in my humble opinion. So, my decoders, get out there and pay close attention in this time before we come into so-called 2019, because when we get into 2020, whatever it is that they've been implementing will probably be in full blast. Meanwhile, Kanye goes up to the White House. All of this shit is happening simultaneously. So some of it is a distraction while they're signing bills. Melania Trump,
yes.
what's her name?
Melania
Trump. Her plane had to make an emergency landing yesterday.
Oh.
All right, because of some smoke shit. You know what I'm saying? So understand all of these things.
Trump trying to kill his wife?
Maybe somebody trying to send him a message like, yo, dude, this could pop. In Islam, the journalists.
In Saudi Arabia.
You know what I'm saying? So all of this stuff, while it appears to be chaos, it's one story being told, and we got to be on our grind and not get confused with what Kanye said or what the fuck Drake, and we'll talk about
We're
that.
gonna talk about that.
Well, yeah, we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
But do not be confused. I'm always trying to get you when everybody's looking this way. Just take a peek that way. Just take a peek.
Because so let's be completely honest, right? You ever see these?
Completely honest. I never really liked you. Never
Yeah,
really.
right. So when we see these movies like these dystopian futures, and they have an authoritarian type government or dictatorship, and we think like, how did they let that happen? When it's always some like fiction America, like some like America, like that. How did they let that happen? Watching this administration do whatever they want with impunity.
Yes.
Like you talk about the Facebook, YouTube, how they can control whatever they want. If they were to say, listen, we had a nice run with this, democracy, now it's over. What can we, in actuality, do?
In actuality, you are going to be the one who asks for it. That's the way this shit works.
Right.
This is all mental, right? But your participation mentally, the more people I get to agree with it, accelerates this process, right? So if it's all mental, it doesn't mean you're not participating. It means just that you are participating in it. So things are so fucked up, man. Remember, the Hegelian effect, problem, reaction, solution. That shit all works one and one. There's so much killings out here. We need to get rid of all the guns. Okay. And then they take all the guns. Now we assed out.
Yeah.
Pause. You know what I mean? And so forth and so on. So, but they move things along gradually to the point where you think that you have accelerated to the point that you are, but they wanted you to be there the whole time. All right? That's just the way mind control works, but your participation. And 85% of the population don't give a shit either way. So we get them to vote not because their vote counts. We get them to vote so that the energy in the astral realms and above can be in agreement with the shit we pulling off. Because we already know your president is not elected, he's selected. Right? Let's clap that up. Right?
And remember, you had a point about the dinner that Obama gave.
Right. So let's go back to the presidential dinner. I don't know the name of it. In the chat room, you might know where, once a year the president comes out and he does his stand up, and all the big shots are there and the press is there. If you remember, 2 years ago,
that wasn't
3 years ago, they were making fun of Donald Trump. It was 3 years ago. He's been the president for 2 years.
I don't think it was that year.
I think it was 3 years ago. People in the chat room can correct me. That's fine. But anyway, it was one of them congressional dinners where Barack was on fire. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He was telling jokes about Trump, and everybody in the room was laughing at Trump.
Yeah, they were.
And when you saw Trump's face, he wasn't laughing. He stood there and was looking around at everybody like he knew something that you did not. Usually, if the joke is on you, it's a roasting. Everybody will laugh. You know what I'm saying? They made fun of the vice presidents, and they make fun of Trump from time to time. He the only one who wasn't laughing. And he had a stoic look on his face like, okay, laugh now. Because he understands that the president is not elected, they're selected. But your participation in it
I told you
helps the process along so that it seems like the universe is in agreement with what's taking place. That's the way magic works.
Because I told you when I watched the Trump documentary on Netflix, they highlighted that moment actually.
Right, and he said that this is the moment that spurred him to go along. Bullshit.
Yeah.
Bullshit. These people in power are 20 and 30 years ahead of us in how they do things and who they want. And remember, I keep telling y'all, Trump is connected to Obama because they let a nigga become the president in this country. Mm-hmm. How's that possible, right?
Yeah.
The most racist country in the world, that must means that this was something that's a part of a plan. In 2004, at the Democratic Convention, when he spoke for the first time, we didn't know who this nigga was, right? Phil Valentine said, that's going to be your next president. He said it right on the spot. That will be your next president. And lo and behold, he became the president. So for 8 years, racist people were suppressing their true feelings. When you suppress something down, it usually springs up twice as high as you suppressed it. So 8 years in this country, And then what they did was they dangled a woman in front of you. There are 3 things in this country racist white people cannot accept: niggas, women, and them goddamn gays. So behind Barack, they was bringing you Hillary. So they dangled her. So Trump was the solution for those who had been suppressing their true feelings for that long. It's not that complicated.
Shout out to King Kunta.
Thank you, King Kunta. So now these people have their opportunity to truly express how they feel because he's echoing their sentiments, and you're sitting around saying, how the fuck did this happen? Mm-hmm. Well, it happened just the way it was supposed to happen because the orchestrators understand. We just trying to get a peek behind the curtain now to see what's really going on. So every time one of us are up here decoding or trying our best to, all we trying to do is get a peek behind the curtain so we can stop falling for the okie doke. All right? So that's how that will work in this country. They've been talking one world order and all that shit for years. And they have the power to go back into the future, into the past, and change shit to direct the future. Now, that what the fuck are you talking about?
You just lost.
Right. I know. I'm going to explain to you. Remember, we're thinking about time in the linear sense, like one line of time. Those who understand time know past, present, and future exist simultaneously, and you can go back on the timeline. They call it the Mandela effect now, where they change some shit that integrates into your futuristic understanding of things. And you go, well, wasn't that shit blue before? So, I don't think the Illuminati, this is just my humble opinion, ever existed. I think them niggas went and wrote some books about some motherfucker that didn't exist. We started reading those books, and because all of this shit exists simultaneously, we created the Illuminati. And now we are afraid of some shit that we fucking created in our mind. Clap that up.
I don't know about clapping that up.
I'm drinking water, ice water, so God ain't on no shit. I'm telling you. They are 50 years ahead of us in their technology. They have the power to send E.T. home. See, because you're thinking about time in a sense like this, right? And you walk across the fucking table, and the shit took 3 hours to go across the park. When these motherfuckers are bending time in space, they're hopping over, and then they're opening that shit back up, and they're way over the other side of the universe. Let's clap that shit up. Yeah. Get metaphysical on y'all motherfuckers tonight. Yeah. So, this is the technology they're using, so you think your little iPhone 10 is the shit. That's how you dumb people down and keep motherfuckers twisted. These motherfuckers are devious, and they're laying shit down so that you may ask that they take your rights, they take your guns. My children are missing. Children are missing. We need to implant all the children so that now the parents can go to their phone and have a fucking device and know where their children are at all times. You're going to ask for that shit because all the kids is missing. What else we going to do? We don't know where all these kids are. You see what I'm saying? So we're going to be asking for shit that, is our demise, in my humble opinion.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
All right.
You are tuned into the sounds of Urban X. Yeah.
You want to talk about Kanye in Africa?
Kanye in Africa. He's out there now giving away Yeezys, right?
White Yeezys.
White Yeezys. In Africa. Yeah. But he is Jesus. He is King of the West. Kanye, I already broke all that shit down for y'all. So now the King of the West is now in Africa, where they have implanted these people with the vibration of Jesus.
That's a good one.
Jesus has gone there, and he's going to be Yandi. So he's getting ready to transform himself into Gandhi or Yandi, and he's giving out love throughout the world. Clap that shit for Kanye. He working his magic. You niggas is at home flipping burgers and shit, pissed at him, and this nigga's around the world. He just met with the president and was talking gangster shit. You need to be fly, nigga. You need to have an Air Force One that's invisible, nigga. You know what I'm saying? We need to go chill. And you niggas is mad because y'all can't talk to the president. That's all that shit is. And now he like, now I'm going to Africa. Where will he go next? You see what I'm saying? So y'all can say what y'all want to say, but Kanye doing whatever the fuck Kanye want to do.
So last week was it last weekend? On the shop, on LeBron James, the shop, they had Drake on there.
Drake.
Yeah, and he was talking like very, very candidly about the beef he had with Pusha T and Kanye's role in it.
Yeah.
When I first watched the clip, it was like a 7-minute clip of Drake explaining what happened. I went to Wyoming. I played him my music. I showed him my son. He gives me back one beat. I thought we was gonna, he's gonna give me back a whole bunch of music. A couple days later, he announces all these albums, and then he puts out what's the beat? Lift Yourself beat and I didn't realize that was the Scoop Diddy Boo beat.
Yeah, and you wanted to shed a tear.
Nah,
Drake, you was like, man, they shouldn't have did that to Drake.
Nah, I didn't say that, but I thought it was like really foul. Like I was like, that's a different level of person.
Yeah.
You really was trying to end him.
But that speaks to that it was something deeper going on. Had to be between them two.
Yeah,
had to be.
But yo,
and Kim is gonna be in this conversation because that's some shit you do when you know some nigga did some shit to your wife or your children. That level of ratchetness.
Yeah, that's a different level of maniacal. Like,
that's an you thought about that shit.
Yeah.
You wasn't just working on emotion. You thought about how you was gonna fuck this dude up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then give him a hot beat. And Drake and his team of writers will probably Lift Yourself, gonna do a dope song that I was gonna be moving with my car, be all inspired and shit. And to make sure that he don't even use that, this nigga puts out a song called Scoobity Boop. Scoobity Boop Boop Boop.
Yeah.
That's some gangster shit. So all them lyrics you and your team wrote are now null and void. Right? Yeah. Give me the rest of the story because I got some shit about this that I want to talk about.
So again, he talked about him showing a picture of his son, saying he needed advice because him and the mother wasn't cool.
Because Kanye got him to relax and lower his guard and told him, listen, I'm trying to be the new Quincy Jones. Quincy Jones is getting ready to die. I am probably the next person, but I need you to be honest with me, Drake. I need you to tell me your deepest, darkest shit. So we can, start over. Because I said, me and you been having a little beef. Yeah. And I don't want you to think there's something going on in Drake's, because he's from Canada. He's slow. Canada niggas ain't really got no kind of game and shit. Except my niggas out there at Prime in the Cannon, land.
I like how you cleaned that up.
More. But those are my boys out there. They put in work. But a dude like Drake, look at him. He looked like he wear his belt real tight. You know what I mean? And tucked in. And he's like one of them dudes who sit at the bar and try to be cool. But with that being said, he fell for the shit.
Right. He fell for it. Then he hears Infrared, which is on Daytona.
Let me finish. He fell for it.
Oh, right.
And then he decides to send Kanye, a picture of his kid.
Right.
You know what? Let's start over. Man, I'm having problems. I got a hooker pregnant. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's fucked up, right? Because everybody in the industry, we all got her pregnant. It's just I was the last one to tag, so it's my baby. You know what I mean?
Right.
And here. You know what I mean? Here's the picture. Here's her name. Here's what we're going through. And here's my game plan. I'm going to roll out an album, and I'm going to introduce the world. And let me let you hear March 14th. Dude, that's the song. Let me give it all to you, man, since we're bonding. Okay, now continue.
Okay. Then he said he heard Pusha T's song, which was a shot at him about writing. And he goes, after I was just with your man, your producer.
Yeah, I was just with your man in Wyoming. Writing lyrics
for him.
And you have the audacity to put out a song called Infrared, which indicates that I'm not that dude.
Right.
Okay, so now,
Then he totally skipped over the part where he released his diss record.
Which was Duppy.
Duppy freestyle.
Right.
Totally skipped that.
So
and then went to Story of Adidon where he said what he said about 40.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That created that. This brought back the debate that happened. What's too far in hip hop, and then Styles P. And, Dave East talked about there's no rules. So what is your views on that?
All right. I want to say to people in the chat who are my age, none of this shit matters to us.
Right.
We're adults. But the dynamic of this show is that we have a young man here. This matters. This is his generation. And so I'm going to give some elderly advice.
Okay.
All right. This reminds me of Jay-Z. Jay-Z and Drake's situations were similar. What do you mean by that? Let me explain. Even though Jay-Z wasn't considered a non-writer or had ghostwriters, he was considered a biter.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Cameron put out that shit.
Yeah.
So Jay-Z, now, okay, I'm just setting this up.
Okay.
But Jay-Z responded, I'm a writer, not a biter for myself and others. I'm big verse, big enough my brother, I'm big enough to do it. My own flow is foolish. Yeah, okay, cool. Right? Right. So Jay-Z and Nas, because I'm setting this up.
Okay.
So we got Jay-Z and Nas.
Right.
Right? Jay-Z releases The Takeover. Right? Slamming. Right? Hard body.
Definitely.
Shit you can rock to in the Jeep, right? Nas returns with Ether. And Ether's this nigga.
Yes.
He, in turn, gets emotional and has an emotional response and releases Super Ugly. And in Super Ugly, he named Nas's baby mother.
Right.
He said, me and AI have something in common. So he threw her name in there, right? And I don't think anybody had a problem with that because it was a slick line.
Right.
But when he said I left the condoms in the baby seat,
Right.
in bringing his child into the situation, even Jay-Z's mom's like, I think that's too far. So that's a rule, an unwritten rule. Let me finish.
Okay, I got
Take your notes, little nigga. Take your notes.
I got
right?
something to say. Go ahead.
Right?
Go ahead.
So his mother says that's too far. Okay, Jay-Z, you need to go up and apologize for that. Because I don't mind you and Nas going at it, right? So Jay-Z apologizes, so forth and so on. Drake and Kanye, it's the same situation. Kim is involved with this, in my humble opinion, right? Long story short, what's his name? Pusha puts out Infrared. Jay-Z responds. Drake responds with Duddy.
Right, Duppy.
And then your boy responds. Now, in Drake's song, he mentions Pusha's wife. He didn't say she sucked no dick. He didn't say nothing foul.
Real quick.
Real quick.
He was on Joe Budden's podcast yesterday.
Right.
And he even said, because this is my theory, and we even talked about this on this podcast, right?
Yeah.
That him mentioning her, we didn't know where Drake was going with that because he mentioned that we know how Drake gets down. He said the same thing. He said, I don't want no confusion because I know how you get down and I don't want nobody thinking you slept with my wife. I totally got that.
In retrospect, it's easy to say that.
It was easy to say that then.
I'm not finished my story. So he said, I'll put a ring on it like Virginia Williams.
No, he said, I'll let it ring.
I'll let it ring
like Virginia Williams.
Like Virginia Williams. Right. All right? Cool line. No big deal.
It was whack, okay.
All right, but I'm just saying, nothing to incite me where I gotta go and talk about some nigga dying.
Okay.
So Pusha T responds with what I feel was Takeover or Ether and Super Ugly all in the same song, right?
Okay.
And he talks about 40 dying, and this nigga here ain't die. He dropped the Drake shit. He had, and this is my humble opinion for you young people, he was gonna drop that song irregardless if Drake said anything about his wife or not, because his intel was time sensitive. He had to, because what if Drake never said that? What if Drake just put out Duppy, and which was really about Kanye to begin with, right?
It was.
And left it at that. And what would prompt Pusha to put out songs about his kid, fucking up the Adidas? So he had to do that irregardless. He's making it seem like the only reason he did Adonis was because he mentioned his wife. That's a goddamn lie. He had to do it because it was time sensitive. Drake was getting ready to release his album and share with the world through an Adidas promotion who his son was and all that. So he had to do that. It was time sensitive. Don't tell me anything different. I ain't falling for it. I am not even falling for the fact that Pusha T is saying that the information came from 40 through pillow talk. I ain't buying it. I think he's trying to absolve Kanye West, and he's trying to use the oldest tactics in the books of divide and conquer by dividing 40 away from Drake. That's my humble opinion, because if you got all of this information from 40, irregardless of how you got it. And now you wishing death on the nigga who gave you the information.
He didn't wish
that
death on
buried
him.
Drake. Clap that shit.
He didn't. No. Cut it short. He didn't wish death on him.
He did.
No, he didn't. He said,
He
tick, tick.
Yeah, tick, tick, tick. Your man is dying.
Your life is tick, tick, ticking. Your life is tick, tick, ticking.
Come
My
on.
life is tick, tick, ticking.
We
He just
understand.
happens to be sick.
Yeah, but my point is, he was doing that to really throw dirt on the one person that Drake.
Battle rap.
It not. Let me get back to the battle rap.
Okay.
Now, because a lot of these old school dudes are double talking too. I'm hearing, the minute he mentioned his wife's name, all bets is off. That broke the rules. Well, how can you break rules if there are no rules? Clap it up. Black Dot is on fire tonight. I'm giving this young boy the. If it ain't no rules, how the fuck can he break the rules by mentioning his wife? I thought there was no rules. Now, this battle rap shit has changed the rules because that's a different vibration. In battle rap, when we're face to face, they don't have no rules in their league. That's like wrestling, right? Or the UFC, where battle on wax is like boxing. You know what I mean? We go 12 rounds. You know what I'm saying?
Again, you have to
Battle rap in the club is like anything goes. This shit is UFC.
I feel like if it's on the table, I know about it. It's fair game. I can talk about it.
Okay,
right?
yeah.
Just like again, he said his wife's full name. He didn't even say nothing slick. And if you listen to W Freestyle again, it was really out of place line. Like he was saying something. I let it ring. Then he said something. It was like really just
like he just wanted to throw that in.
Like he just wanted to throw that in there.
Because we know that the song wasn't about Pusha T. The song was about Drake. I mean Kanye.
Right.
But Pusha was sitting on something that he was playing. It was a great chess move. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Pusha's chess move was crazy, but do not sit there and say the only reason I dropped this fucking grenade is because you mentioned my wife's name. When you knew that this intel would have been no good to you if you sat on it for more than the time you did. Because if you let Drake roll his shit out and then you come out with your song, it would make no goddamn sense. One thing I'm not is dumb. I'm fucking smart. So he was gonna drop that grenade irregardless. But Drake fell into it emotionally. Let me get back to the Drake and Jay-Z shit. Both of them at the time was sitting on the top of the world.
Okay.
Jay-Z was untouchable at that time, and he wasn't responding to nobody. Right? And then Nas was on his so-called deathbed. Nas was dealing with his mom's issues. His main dude got killed. So Jay-Z, in a chess move, decided this is the right time to get this dude. But you don't push Virgos into a corner. I'm Virgo. Don't push us we don't want no problems with you. You know what I mean? But if you push us into a corner, you're going to get smoked. Right? So he got that smoke, and then he became passive aggressive and tried to hit him with super ugly. It was too late. You see what I'm saying? Right. So Drake was sitting on top of the world. He had just dust off Meek. You know what I'm saying? He's sitting on top of the world thinking he got this. Sitting in the corner was a nigga he thought was dead. He thought Pusha T. Who's Pusha T? And this infrared shit he got coming out. This nigga's nobody. So I'm going to just use him to get at him and Drake. Little did he know.
Him and Kanye.
Yeah, the same. All these niggas is the same to me, right?
Kanye, yeah.
Little did he know that my nigga Pusha T had a grenade in his hand, threw that fucking grenade and fucked everything up. And here we are. My closing arguments is this. These are grown-ass men. When all the smoke clears. These are grown-ass men, right? Multi-millionaires who are acting like fucking 12-year-olds.
Yeah,
all right.
Like
you did this in the park to me. I'm gonna do that shit. Grown ass men when all the smoke cleared. Jay-Z included in this shit too. You know what I'm saying? When Kanye had the rollout and shit, and him and Beyonce threw their shit in on the rollout. They all involved, but when all the smoke cleared, what was Jay-Z and Nas' main beef? I thought it was about the battle for King of New York. I wrote the rhyme about it. I wrote it in the Four Corners newspaper in 2002.
I think it was over his baby mother.
It was over the baby. It was about the goddamn baby mother.
That's right.
When all the smoke cleared, the shit was about Carmen. Like I said, wrote the New York rhyme story, created a mob story around it, to make it seem like it was about the battle of New York since Biggie had died. But in reality, the shit was about a girl. You know what Drake and Kanye are fighting over? Kiki, do you love me? What's her name?
Kim Kardashian.
Kim Kardashian. Bottom line, when all the smoke cleared, these niggas is fighting over girls.
Yeah.
Pusha T, nigga said something about he said my girl's name. What kind of stupid shit is this? Nigga said your girl's name, so now you wish death on his man.
They didn't wish death on him,
tick,
man.
Tick, tick, you sick line, though. Shit was crazy. Right? So when all the smoke clears, what I'm trying to say is this is grown-ass men with a lot of money and nothing else to do in their time and low self-esteem. Now, to counter that, okay.
Let's talk in the mud, right? We're talking about
let's get in the mud.
Let's talk. We're in the mud, right? We're talking about some really low vibration stuff.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
Some nigga shit.
That's we gotta talk about it. This is Urban X. You know what I'm saying? So, this is a really early point you made. You talked about comparing Super Ugly to the story of Adidon because of the condiment baby seat thing, and then he brought up his child. I think it's different.
No, I didn't say because he brought up his child. I said because he talked about his man. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, forget it.
Yeah. No, I wasn't talking about the child because he didn't speak maliciously about the child. He just said Drake has a child.
Right.
And Drake is going to roll out some shit and be prepared for it. So now I'm fucking up millions. How much money you think Drake lost behind?
Oh, yeah. He lost a bag.
Drake lost a bag because he wanted to be the one to introduce to the world his son with a dope Adidas roll.
And he kind of lost the bag for the child too, right?
He lost the bag for the child because that money was going to go to the kid. Yeah. He was bringing his kid. It's sort of like DJ Khaled has his son down as a producer. Nas has his daughter down as the executive producer on one of their albums. Jay-Z's daughter Blue was the first one to record a song. I forget what it was. So they are understanding generational wealth, which brings me to my next point. That's my closing point. To defend these young people at the same time, because you know, Doc, I'm about perspective and balance. These are first generation millionaires.
Yes.
Right? So when we speak about what we could be doing with our money, these are first generation million. And what you gonna do when you get your first million? Let's say you 23 years old and you got $3 million. What you gonna do with that? You're going to trick that, right? Let's say you get a promotion, even old people. Let's say you get the promotion you've been waiting for at your job. First thing you're going to do is go get that new whip because now you're an executive. We all do it. You go from flipping burgers to now you on the fries. You go out and get a new pair of sneakers and shit. And then you go from the fries to the manager. So you understand, as first generation people, the first thing we're going to do is trick that money off. Right. So what we're seeing, brothers and sisters, are a bunch of young millionaires, right, with nothing to do with their money. But so these niggas is arguing over schoolyard shit.
Time out. So you don't think billionaires, like heads of companies, don't do really petty stuff? Like, I steal one of your executives, he comes over here.
I do, but we don't hear about it. We don't make rap songs. They don't make rap songs about it.
They're rappers.
I'm just saying. I'm just simply saying. We don't hear about it. It's above our pay grade, but that's a corporate thing, of course. No, I agree.
The New England Patriots with the offensive coordinator was supposed to go to the Indianapolis
and then they got in his ear and he came back
on the day he was supposed to go and
school him. Yeah. Bill Belichick walked out on the New York Jets on the day they was going to give him the starting job and went to New England. So I'm not saying it doesn't, but if it's business related, I can understand that. If Jay-Z is making a business move and steal 40, and now 40's producing beats for him, clap that shit up, right? But if it's
this is business, but this is personal, but it's business too.
I spit a spitball at you, hit you in the back of your neck. All other kids in the class is laughing, and now 3 o'clock we fucking tumbling. That's the equivalent of this shit. You said something about my mother, because back in the day, I'm from the era, you couldn't say nothing about my mother. Tanya, know, that shit was fighting words. Your mother, even though this kid don't know my mother, at 3 o'clock, my nigga, the shit is on. And then your mother come to school, and what happened? He said something about you. What?
Is that true, Dwayne?
Is that true? That's the way this shit looks in the grand scheme of things, right? Drake, Diddy punches Drake in the face.
Over a beat.
Over a fucking beat.
Yeah.
Right? A hot beat. That 0 to 100.
Yeah.
That shit was
But that was money. Think about that.
It was money.
It was business.
It was business. But I'm just simply saying.
Because, time out. This is really, I don't know if this is off topic, but this has something to do with it. I feel like throughout this whole situation, we ignored Jay-Z's role in this too.
Explain, young man.
So it's like, all right, so when Nicki and Remy were going at it, right, and Remy dropped Sheetha, Nicki was able to get that pulled because she was dating Nas, and Nas, the Sheetha beat was the Ether beat.
Oh, see? Oh, yeah.
Right, she was able to get that pulled. It was taken off everywhere, right?
Right.
Story of Adidon is the story of OJ beat from Jay-Z's 444.
Right.
That means Jay-Z had to sign off on that.
He did.
Right.
And I saw the credits. Somebody sent me in the in the gram sent me a snapshot of the credits. You know what I'm saying? And you see Jay-Z's name down on there. Which brings me to my last point before we can
This is your last point, the third time, but go ahead.
Right. If I give you everything.
Oh we see. No, go ahead. Finish.
Let me ask you. If I say, Malcolm, you're a writer, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm giving you everything to write about. I give you all the bullet points, right? And you, as a writer, write something really crafty. Did I help co-write that shit right there? Is what I'm asking.
Okay. So
yes or no?
It depends on your idea.
In ASCAP, ASCAP and BMI, where you get credit for writing, it will say me and you wrote that, right?
Okay.
If it does not say me and you go fuck that, I wrote it, even though it's his ideas, am I your ghostwriter? So all I'm asking. Because the ghostwriter of Pusha T's song is Kanye or 40. He didn't come up with none of them fucking ideas. He knew none of that shit. He physically wrote that shit, but somebody gave him the ideas. So Pusha T wrote a song about a nigga who's ghostwriting based on some shit that somebody ghostwrit for him. Clap that up.
I think that's a reach. It's a really good reach.
Yeah, it's a good reach.
It's a good reach.
I almost pulled my shoulder out.
It's sore. Yeah, your shoulder's sore.
Shoulder's really sore. But I'm just simply saying, just to show you how all this shit is intertwined.
No, that's actually...
Because if you write a book for me, right?
Yeah.
You tell my story, it's going to say Black Dot with...
Yeah, that's true.
Malcolm Bowser.
That's true.
Or Dotson, whichever you choose to go with, right? That means I gave you the story and you wrote it.
Yeah.
So either Kanye gave this nigga Pusha T the story, or 40 with pillow talk. Some people say it was pillow talk.
I think the him having a child was an open secret in the industry.
But he didn't know the child's name. He didn't know the release dates of the rollout. All of that shit was sensitive intel that came from somewhere. Now, pillow talk could be it.
But who would know that sensitive information but 40?
Unless Drake knew it, because Drake let his guards down and gave all that information to Kanye.
And we got to talk about Drake. You know you're beefing with somebody, and you willingly give. And this is Drake, who calls himself, he light skinned, but he a dark nigga.
I told you he's a nigga who look like he pulls his belt way over. And
I'm an unforgiving wild ass.
He's from Canada. It look like I can get his wallet right now. With that being said, let's move on.
That was funny though.
Oh yeah, we had.
You are tuned into the sounds of Urban X.
All right, this Laker game, get ready. Come on, let's get this shit popping.
Oh, that's a fact. But so Khabib from the UFC challenged Mayweather
to a boxing match.
Well, he challenged him to a fight, and then Mayweather said, "Well, he challenged me. He got to come to my world and box."
Oh, so you think we're gonna fall for the same shit?
I'm not doing that again.
I'm not. I paid $100 for that shit.
Yeah, I remember.
For the that shit. I'm not paying for that
and
shit.
This is not even like a good draw because McGregor can actually box.
Right, at least McGregor could box. So I was being sold on, you better watch it.
Yeah.
If he catches Mayweather, this dude is a fucking wrestler.
And he definitely looked like he gonna mess up and
think he gonna think he's still in the
That was
UFC.
happening to McGregor.
Nope.
If you remember that fight.
I ain't going for it. Nope. You won't get my money. Nope.
But he got at Mayweather. He got at Canelo Alvarez. Something crazy, like real big money talk.
Who?
Mayweather.
Oh, by saying I make what you just made in a lifetime in one fight.
Yeah, he goes. Yeah, he said I make that because Canelo
in
signed
36 minutes. Yeah,
Canelo signed the biggest sporting contract in the history of sports. It was like 10 years,
365 million. Yeah, clap that up, man.
Yeah,
his bag is big.
For 10 fights, I think in 5 years, 10 fights, some crazy like that.
Yeah,
and then Canelo has something slick to say about Mayweather ruining boxing by these fights he's trying to create.
Yeah, well, didn't Mayweather whip his ass already?
Yeah, he said that was one of the easiest fights.
Yeah, he put the beats on him. Yeah. But maybe they can get a rematch for that.
He said, "I make 300 mil in 36 minutes."
36 minutes. Facts.
Man, what am I doing?
That's big bread.
I went to college.
Yeah. You for history, you just
I went to college.
You're like a loser.
Yeah, man.
Jeez.
What happened?
Jeez, at least know how to dunk a ball or something. Dribble or some shit. Anyway, I still love you. What do we have? NBA G League.
So it was just announced that the G League is going to have select contracts. What is this what they call them? Where a player can make $125,000 a year.
Right. Yeah. Shout out to my man Gemini Keys. Hit me up with this information, earlier in the day, and I had to start thinking about it because this is a direct shot at a LeVar Ball.
And you know what's crazy? People are applauding the G League for doing this, but call LeVar crazy for his idea. And then we didn't. So when we were going in on LeVar, we weren't going in on his ideas. We actually agreed on them, but we just disagreed on how he was going about it.
The method in which he was going about it, because big bank take little bank.
Yeah.
So I also kind of felt that even with his son with the sneakers, it was nothing wrong with signing a 3-year deal with Nike, being the spook who sat by the door, learning how businesses run.
Shout out to
then
James.
When your son gets his max contract, you can peel off a piece of that and then introduce the world to the new Zoe sneaker. I didn't think it would be anything wrong with that.
Yeah.
But by coming in, trying to take down a conglomerate, trying to bully the NBA who's worth billions of dollars, and you're one man, that math don't add up. That's like me going into a whole bunch of a party full of bloods saying, fuck everybody in the party. Wait for it. Now you know it's going to pop. So it's the same concept. So I wasn't getting at his ability to do these things, but you got to move. He got to know how to move in a room full of vultures.
Yeah.
And he did not. He came in riding the vibration of his son and divulging ideas. And these people are listening. A junior league. That sounds great. And do not think the NBA wasn't thinking about this already, because the one and done has been screwing them over for a while.
Right.
But they're laying out a strategic game plan. So now they're offering these guys $125,000, the ones who want to bypass college for that 1 year. The problem is Wojciechowski, NBA insider, I thought had a great point when he said, but when the G League ain't popping. Like the crowds are small, it's connecting flights, you on these fucking buses from city to city. At least in college, you're playing in front of 80,000 people. Mm-hmm. Your name is being out there, and you're prepping yourself for an even bigger payday. So it is a trade-off in that sense. Now, if you don't have the academics to want to go to college,
and
then maybe...
I guess it depends on what you need right away.
And then, if I get $125,000, does that mean I'm a pro and now I can sign with Nike immediately? Ooh. See, that's a whole different avenue as well. Because, I took the $125, but Nike going to give me $10 million. So now I'm living good. I'm building up my brand, and then when I come to the NBA that year later,
I didn't think about that.
You know what I'm saying? So how is this going to play out? Because there are always going to be agents looking to circumvent the system somehow, some way, to get these young African American athletes,
I didn't think about that,
who have low IQs and educations in the field, so more people can eat off them. You know what I mean? So let's see how this all balances out. In regard to the G League giving you $125,000, because colleges is giving dudes $125,000 on the low for you to come to my school. So and I ain't got to go to no classes. Somebody gonna be tutoring me, helping me pass these fucking classes. I'm only here for one semester. We know that already. When basketball season is over, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
So $125,000 is not gonna be enough. You better talk $500,000. Better talk $500,000 for me to go, okay, I see the potential here, where let me come in.
And then college, I had fun in college, and I wasn't damn near NBA prospect. You know what I'm saying?
You were nothing near an NBA.
What? That's not the point. That's not the point. You have to go there. But I'm saying. But what I'm saying is like it's an experience that a lot of these dudes dream about.
But a lot of these dudes just are dreaming about their money now.
That's true.
A lot of these athletes figure I can't read and write. This is what hip hop has offered, and see, people misunderstand that it offered young people with talent to have an opportunity. It's only 3 acts. Either you're slinging crack rock or you got a wicked jump shot, right? When you throw rap in there, you either rapping now for fellas, you are playing ball, or you slinging fucking, some shit on the Instagram front and all that. But I'm just simply saying, those became the outlets. And in the 80s, that door opened for a lot of us. Crack came in the same time hip-hop reached its peak in terms of now I can put out records and tour, and crack came, and dudes has always been playing ball. For the girls, it's go to school and study real hard, or get on that fucking pole and shake that ass.
Oh my God.
Right?
Yeah.
And let me tell you something. Pussy rule the world, right?
Facts.
I'm about to get me one and keep that shit in my pocket. And be like, what you mean we can't get in this club, son? Officer, why am I being pulled over? You see what I'm saying? So pussy rules the world. And so now these young ladies are in the gym. You know what I'm saying? The same way you wasn't in the gym when I was shooting jump shots, they in the gym getting that ass tight because it could happen. Because you got millionaire niggas with low IQs, right? Who just want a little shorty, right? And that shit is how these young chicks get an opportunity to be out the hood. You working your whole life and you going to school and you trying to do the right moral thing, and shorty is in the fucking gym getting her ass, or she goes to the Dominican Republic and get them ass and titties right and get these young niggas, because remember, these are first generation millionaires, even in basketball, right? So let's not discard the first millionaire, generation millionaire syndrome, and all they really want to do is trick their money, right? And here it is, I'm trying to teach my daughter to have morals and this and that. She need to get on that damn pole! Okay. No, you need to go to school, do the right thing.
Took it too far.
And we're going to be here with you, you know what I'm saying? But look at young women who don't have fathers at home and big brothers at home to show them male love and guidance. They're looking at their options. My mother's slave, she working cleaning fucking nursing home, cleaning shitty beds or something her whole life. We never have nothing. And I'm sitting on this big old ass, which is an asset. I'm going to be here all week. I got a lot of them. And now I'm going to turn that asset into an NBA baller. And be sitting up drinking fucking champagne and flying in G5 jets on your ass.
You see,
that's the way that shit happens.
Lonzo Ball's baby mother is trying to get like 30-something thousand a month out of him now.
She should, as she should.
Fool.
Right? Because
got that
he has...
got that white girl pregnant.
No,
Fool.
Okay. Lonzo Ball, right?
Lonzo, yeah.
His mother's white. So it's not too far-fetched that he would get a white girl pregnant, right?
Yeah.
She saw the opportunity for a come-up, right? And she took advantage of that, right? Her lifestyle, she's used to having nice shit. Kenny Smith's wife is divorcing him from NBA, inside the NBA. He been with her 17 years.
Oh, she's getting everything.
She want half his shit, Eddie. She said, I want half your shit, Kenny. And she gonna get half his shit. Damn. Right?
Why she divorcing him?
Rumor has it he has a wandering eye. So I don't want to speculate. I like Kenny. But she, at 17 years, he's been with Turner Sports for 20 years.
Yeah.
She has helped him build that.
Yeah.
She gonna get half his shit. Got that up? Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
She gonna get half his shit. Yeah.
Unfortunate.
So what else we have before we can close this out here?
So it's this new white nationalist group called the Proud Boys.
Proud Boys.
And they were in New York City putting the beats on some people.
They was in here rocking.
Yeah, and it was bugging me out because I'm like, really?
Well, let me ask you, where were all the Crips and Bloods who kill each other every day over colors, and now these white boys show up saying, fuck all y'all.
Over colors.
All for colors?
Yeah.
And where was the Bloods and Crips?
I don't know, man.
So,
listen,
they're the new minority or something?
Yeah, that's the platform that they're running on. That they're the new minority. Like,
so now it's victim consciousness in reverse.
Yes.
Reverse victim consciousness. We're the new minority.
Yes.
You niggas are taking everything over. We're fighting. But I'm going to say this, and I know it offends some people. When you understand racism, you really can't be mad at racism. You're mad at the effects of racism. But what I mean by that is white people throughout the world are the minority. They're the only people that don't have an origin land besides the Caucasus Mountains. You see what I'm saying? They're the only people, wherever they go, they are immigrants, right? They're the only people who can't willfully blend in or they will fucking disappear. Like me and you can go tear some shit down in Africa, anywhere we want, and we retain the melanated spirit of who we are. They cannot do that. So they are constantly in fear of disappearing. This is why the Jews screw their own cousins, right? To keep and the Mormons, I think, do the Mormons do that? I don't want to start any rumors. I think the Mormons kind of...
It's cool to say the Jews do it.
Yeah, fuck the Jews now. What I'm trying to say is, but because... this is why they do this to keep their bloodline pure because they cannot integrate with who we are.
Racism is a survival tactic.
Yes. That's what I mean.
That's what you mean. Racism.
It's a survival tactic. It's just the fact is we're the ones suffering of the consequences of it.
Right.
So I'm not. Please don't misconstrue my message. I'm not saying racism. I'm saying when you understand what they're doing from that perspective.
No, because this is where people get it messed up because me and you understand racism is survival, right?
Yes.
But it appears that, especially in this country, that since we are the minority, it's like, all right, you got it. Why
are you still doing this on us when we're technically the minorities in this country? So you should just be like, chill.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right.
We just like, yo, what's good with you?
Right. Just let us eat a little bit.
That's
you know
why
what I'm
people
saying?
don't understand the concept.
But on a global perspective, we're outnumbering them 11, 12 to 1. So this is what white supremacy is, a global system that's in place to kind of help them survive. Are we out in the chat?
No, we got to talk about the
Is the chat still rolling?
Corner Store Caroline.
Because the Instagram went off and all that kind of stuff.
Corner Store Caroline. So you heard about this woman who called the cops on his 9-year-old boy for sexual assault when he brushed up against...
Yes, I heard about that.
What do you think?
I thought that lady was crazy to begin with. With that being said, and then when we watched the tape, we realized that she was lying, that his book bag brushed up against her.
She doubled down on that.
And then she even doubled down on that, and now she wants the mother arrested because she was hostile. We're seeing this phenomenon all around the country. Right. We saw that guy, thanks in the chat room. Son, I'm sorry, we've been offline.
Yeah, we couldn't see the super
Kevin
chat, so
Baptiste, thank you for all the support.
We appreciate you for real.
And so even that guy who was trying to get into his condo.
And I don't know if you've been watching, I know you watch The Breakfast Club, but he's been talking about a lot of these cases lately. It was a guy at his son's soccer game, and a woman...
And he was cheering his son on, giving him instruction on how to win the game, and a lady felt that was a hostile act or something, and called the police because he's cheering his son on, right? So we have these cases going on all around the country, and it's monkey see, monkey do. Right? So she did it, and a lot of people want that attention. It's quiet as kept. You think that they see these cameras on them, but they feel like Trump has given them the right, in their humble opinion, to just go all out with this.
That should kind of be looked at as like attempted murder. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I also feel if you falsely accuse a black man or any man of rape, you should do the time that he was going to get. I'm quiet.
No.
Because think about how many men are in jail who are falsely accused.
Right.
Yeah. If it has been proven that this was a false account on your attempt, you should get that time. Right? So if we do that, we begin to balance out this system, and you'll have less people willing to go all out and start that shit. Because even if I get off, look at the bullshit I gotta go through.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? Because you did that. That's just a lot of bullshit to have to go through. You know what I mean? So, Cornerstone Caroline, she gets the gas face.
And then, so they asked the kid, I forgot his name, if he forgives the woman And he goes,
He said no.
Which, that
was beautiful.
Oh, I loved it.
Sure.
Oh my god. Oh my god, I loved it.
Because he could have. We all should.
Exactly. And I think that's what they were going for.
They were expecting that.
Yes.
And he reversed that shit and said, "No, I'll forgive her." Because
he cried. And she still needs help.
And she needs. She got mental issues.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So don't be doing that.
Yeah,
That young man might carry that energy because that's a snapshot of what's to come in his life. A white woman accused him of some shit. He's only 9. This is a snapshot of his future where white people could just accuse you of shit and you got to deal with drama and then she just go, oh, well, sorry.
Right. And then the fact that, him not forgiving her, that was
amazing.
Poetry, like, you know what I'm saying?
The white guy, the black guy who couldn't get into his condo, he didn't want no smoke with the lady, because come to find out he was dating white women.
Oh.
Yeah. So somebody pulled his shit up and was like, this nigga was dating white women. So he wants peace. You know what I mean? So, but I appreciate that young kid because I would have had my son out there on that same shit. Like, you know what? Have them think you're going to say the Dr. King shit. We should all get along. And when you see the red lights on the camera,
facts.
You do what we said do.
Because especially we have, like, it's, again, this blue check activism, they always want us to be docile, forgiving.
Absolutely.
Let's just forgive.
Let's work it out.
No.
I ain't working shit out.
No.
I ain't working shit out.
I respected that so much.
And if you accuse me of something, I'm pressing charges because you could screw my life up
Facts.
really quick. You know what I mean? So we got to keep all of that in mind. And
okay, and so for the people that's been with us on YouTube, we appreciate you. It's been funky today. I don't know.
Yeah, but we might have to double down and just kind of consolidate our power source, so to speak. We're trying new things. We thank you for your patience. We will put up the full joint.
The show will be up in its entirety tomorrow. Yeah,
with no interruptions because we always record as a backup. But for those who are trying to get that live energy and get on our vibe with us, we appreciate it.
And for the people that's listening in the car on the way to work, shout out to my man Nod. He always listens to us.
Oh yeah,
shout out to Jigs.
Shout out Tia, all the people who listen. We gonna rock with y'all. Y'all good. Y'all good because the audio was looking funky.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So with that being said,
I need to let that thing go.
Wait, hold up. Don't forget to Oh, really quick.
We'll get back to our Urban Excellence stories next week.
Yeah, really quick. I just started the Urban Excellence Facebook group, right?
Yes.
Anybody you can join. You can just type it in Urban Excellence on Facebook. You can join, add people there. You can tell, your Urban Excellence stories, and your story might get told in the show.
Yes.
Add people, tell a friend to tell a friend.
Right. That's the forum that we're creating so we can kind of stay in touch with our community and throw stories in there. People send me stories all the time.
That's dope.
That's dope because a lot of things we miss. So just keep it coming. And so Urban Excellence with the X.
With the X. Urban Excellence. That's how you spell it.
That's how you spell it. Not EX, just with the X. And you'll find it in the Facebook group.
I'll do another announcement this week about it. About the actual Facebook group, so more people can go. So, yeah. All
right. With that being said, time for that Laker game.
Yeah.
Black mass, man, it's time to rock. I had to find a way, I couldn't find a job. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Black mass, man, it's time to rock. I had to find a way, I couldn't find a job. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God.
I woke up, then I logged in to that Urban X where they be flexing with that blog in. Put it down, cause my little homie called in. Had to bail him out, he in trouble with the law again. Black skin can't win in the white world. Seen a brother kill his own kid for that white girl. We ain't wanna go to school, but we had to. Every February it was scary in them classrooms. Shimmy y'all, shimmy yay. Old dirty bastards can't own dirty slaves, or they own dirty masters. Black Dot found a pot as a youngin', broke it down for his son, and now he serve it to the masses.
Black mass, man, it's time to rock. I had to find a way, I couldn't find a job. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Black mass, man, it's time to rock. I had to find a way, I couldn't find a job. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God.
Urban Excellence, from 4 to 44, Obama was the president. I told mama I ain't tryna go to church. I'm like Adam, every Adam is a product of the dirt. And I've been reaping what he sowed. I got the product, got the dirt. And I can teach you what I know, but then you gotta put in work. You in trouble if you waiting on the government. I told